So you want to create a digital product, but you have no idea how to design it so that it matches your brand's vibe and attracts your audience. I got you, because I am going to be breaking down in this video exactly how you can design your first or best digital product yet, step by step. Not only that, but I am going to be sharing 3 keys for a high converting design, 2 keys for boosting sales of this digital product, and 1 hack-filled digital product design tutorial. So hop in, we are gonna get started. If you are new here, I am Chanel, the brand hustler, and I help ambitious women like yourself build bomb brands so you can launch, grow, or scale your product business with ease. Now, if this is your first time seeing my face, or if you have been watching some of my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and join the Hustle Babe community. Now, let's cut all the fluff and get into this video. But before I get into the 3 keys of a high converting design, drop in the comments, what is your digital product? What is it going to be? If it's just an idea, let me know what the idea is. Or if you are revamping a digital product that is just not it and you know you need to sauce it up a little bit, comment below what that digital product is and let's chat it up. Now, let's get into the 3 keys of a high converting design. When it comes to designing digital products, especially the ones that you need to convert, you need to be designing with intention. And these keys are something that I want you to keep in mind whenever you are designing a digital product, period, whether it's a planner, a template, a guide, ebook, whatever. The first key is going to be clarity and usability. What I mean by this is if people can't easily consume it, understand it, read it, they're not going to use it, they're not going to recommend it, they're not going to come back and buy more of your stuff. So we want our digital products to be intuitive. People should know what to do without having to play ring around the rosy figuring it out. So ask yourself, can someone who is brand new to whatever the concept is in your digital product use it effectively and still see results? If the answer is no, you may have to simplify it a little bit or make it more intuitive. The second design key is going to be visual appeal and brand consistency. Now, as the brand hustler, it's important that we tie every single thing back to our brand's core. So with that being said, you should have a brand style guide of colors, fonts, and you should even have a full set of brand guidelines that outline things like your messaging, your tone, all of the things that you then want to use to create this digital product. If you don't have a style guide or brand guidelines, I actually have a video that I'll put on the screen where I break down how you can create your own brand guidelines in Canva. I also share some more information on what exactly it is and all of the use cases that you have for it. Now, what's important to remember when it comes to this design key is that people judge with their eyes first. I don't care if people say, don't judge a book by its cover. We are wired to judge books by its cover. So you want to make sure that your design is visually appealing, but it also makes sense to your brand and allows you to build brand consistency. So if they see your ebook or your planner or your guide, does it make sense when they go to your Instagram and they see the visuals there? Does it make sense when they look at your overall website and they see the design there? If it's conflicting, it may create confusion, and a confused customer does not buy. Design key number 3 is strategic intent and functionality. So design is not just about looking good, it's about designing it in a functional way that will drive action and creates a clear path to an outcome. Every design decision needs to tie back to a goal, whether it's educating, guiding an action, or selling a specific thing. We need to design with strategic intention. So you want to include features or elements that point out pain points, allow people to reflect, allow them to maybe even answer questions, Maybe you want to include interactive things like a checklist so they can check off their progress, so on and so forth. We want to figure out how we can make it strategically intentional and also functional, so it doesn't just come off as a multi-page essay that they're reading, but they don't actually get to utilize or interact and engage with. Now that you know the 3 keys to a high converting design for digital products, let's talk about the ways that you can actually boost sales, because you don't want to spend an hour or maybe even hours designing a product that doesn't get any sales, or worse, gets 1 or 2 sales when you know that your goal was to get 30 or 50. We don't want all of your effort to go in vain, and you're developing your digital products to unlock a new level of freedom. So you don't want to spend all of that time chasing a new sale because you don't have any automations or any sales boosters set up. And that's why I highly recommend that you actually implement automations. And one of the simple ways that you can do this on Shopify is by installing an app called ReConvert. Now, ReConvert allows you to set up custom upsells and cross sells on any of your products on your store. And what's cool about it is it's actually post-purchase. So that means somebody has already committed to buying something. They then upsell them so that they can buy more. So now instead of Keisha spending only $25, she can spend $50, $75 because of the strategic upsells that you set up with ReConvert. What I love about ReConvert is that it's super customizable. They have a full back-end system that you can literally manipulate in so many different ways to create these custom setups of upsells, cross-sells, downsells, and all the things. It is really so cool. Not only that, but you can actually A/B test all of the cross-sells, upsells, and downsells that you set up. So if you want to see if people will take product A over product B after buying product C, you can test that out. And when you get the answers, you just go with the winning answer, so that way you make more sales. It's really like 1 + 1 = 2. So I'm gonna leave the link to ReConvert in my description. You can start completely for free, and then when you do decide to get on a plan, you are going to have 10% off by using my link. And what's really dope is the plans start at less than $10, like super affordable. It is a no-brainer. When I started using ReConvert, I actually saw $1,000 extra in 1 month, okay? So you definitely wanna make sure that you are using upsells, cross-sells, and all the things to boost your sales and to automate some of that selling for you, so that way all of the work that we're going to do does not go in vain. Speaking of work, let's get into this full design tutorial, and thank you ReConvert for sponsoring this video. Let's go. Welcome to Behind My Screen. We are going to go through a hack-filled tutorial to design your digital product. Let's hop right in. So the first thing that you want to do is you need to pick a template that matches your brand's vibe. Now, if you are a true design girly and you want to design it from scratch, you can go ahead and do that. But speaking from somebody who actually has a ton of design experience and loves graphic design, I don't even do that because I just rather save time. Time is money. So what you want to do is you can go to one of 3 places. The first place that you can use is you can use Canva itself. So in Canva, depending on whatever it is that you're creating, you can search for that thing. So let's say I was creating a workbook. I'd search workbook, and then I can scroll through to see if I like any of the vibes of this workbook. Let's say I wanted to see the full details. You just click on it, and then you can preview it, and it shows you it here. This is another one. It shows you the pages that are within the workbook. If I click here, you'll see that. And so if you wanted to use these, all you do is click customize this template. It'll open up the entire template, and you can go through and customize this based on your brand. Now, I love Canva, But Canva doesn't always have the best templates, in my opinion, when it comes to workbooks, ebooks, guides, and all of that, right? And the same way you search for a workbook, you can search for a guide. So if I went here, I just typed in guide, you want to make sure that you click where it says templates and it's not on your designs. And then you'll see like some other ones come up here that you can scroll through and you can see. So like I was saying, Canva is amazing. However, it doesn't always have the best templates. So my trick is to use either Creative Market or Etsy. So what I do is I go to Creative Market and Etsy and I type in what I'm looking for and the style. And so when I say style, I'm referring to your brand style. If your brand is techie, that could be a style. If your brand is modern, if your brand is maybe like really graphic-y and like kind of like comic strip style, retro, all of those are different styles. So let's say my brand was retro, because HBU technically is. So maybe I wanted a retro brand ebook. I could type in retro ebook and then you'll see some things pop up and you can scroll through to see if any of these match what you're looking for. Creative Market is really good for like modern and luxury types of styles when you're looking for it. At least that's what I've come to find out. So you see like this is a modern style. If I click this, this is a workbook template that's modern. Let's make this bigger. And it looks like this. And already you see that it's better than the Canva version. I know that Canva finds designers on their team and other people to submit designs, but they just don't put the same amount of effort as somebody who's selling it on Creative Market or Etsy. So this is Creative Market. Etsy, you would use the same way. Type in the style that you're going for as well as what it is that you're searching for. So let's say I was going for a retro style ebook on Etsy. I type it in and as you can see, Etsy is gonna have more of the fun stuff. Creative Market is gonna have more of the sleek, modern, luxe type of vibe. Etsy is gonna have the fun stuff. So maybe I wanted to put girly ebook. That's not really a style, but you know, you see like Boss Up and Build, Boss Babe Blueprint, stuff like that, like Invest Her. Oh, that's an actual ebook. But you have this stuff here. And so what you want to do too on Etsy, because people also sell ebooks and workbooks, type in template, because we want templates. We don't necessarily want the book itself, right? So then you can scroll through, you can see if there's anything here that you like that is a template. Make sure that it's a template, not taking somebody else's ebook and kind of like just ripping it off, but looking for an actual template. That's what you would do there. If you wanted to just see, maybe you don't know the style of your brand and you wanted to see where you wanted to lean towards, you can look up just a general workbook or ebook. But I highly, highly, highly recommend having a style for your brand. And so if you don't know what this is, you need to do the inner work to develop this. So your visuals are a direct result of how you develop your brand's foundation. And at the core of your brand's foundation is going to be your audience, but there are other components that build your brand. There's actually 7 different components that make any profitable brand strategy. And so I teach this inside of my 6-figure brand masterclass. So if you're struggling with this, if you don't know your audience, if you don't even know how to create visuals that are attractive to them, if you need some help in that arena, you definitely want to check out the 6-figure brand masterclass because it goes deep into that type of stuff. So once you find a template, the second thing that you want to do is you need to actually customize it, right? And so the way that you do that is you want to set up your brand kit in Canva. Your brand kit is your holy grail for your visuals. So inside of Canva, the way that you get here is you click Canva and then you click brand and then you make sure that you open up the side tab so it's brand kit, okay? So once you're here, you'll create your brand kit. So if I were to open up Hustle Babe University's brand kit, what you want to do is add your logos, add your color palette, add your fonts, and now you can even add your brand voice and you can add photos. So if you do a photo shoot specifically for your brand, which you should, you can add the photos here. I have photos for my brand. It's about like 80 to 100 photos. I haven't added them here. Instead, I have them linked on a document that literally says pics to pull from. So if I go to, let's see, sometimes it'll come up, but sometimes it doesn't. If I go to my Google Drive, I have a document that says pictures to pull from and it links my most recent photo shoots. And I give this to anybody. Like if anybody's designing anything, or even when I'm designing something, I literally just pull from there and it takes me directly to the album, which has all of the pictures in it. This is like the photo shoot that I took for HBU, the initial photo shoot. So these are the photos. If I scroll down, because I did a couple of different looks here. But if I scroll down, these are some pictures that I took specifically for HBU that I would use and I can add to that Canva part. So going back to your brand kit, you'll add them here. What this allows you to do is when you open up the workbook, ebook, guide, whatever it is that you're creating, you can actually click anything that you need to change for the colors, and you open up your brand kit like so, and then you can switch this out. So let's say I wanted to switch this out to burgundy, I can switch that out. Now the cool thing that I like is when you switch one thing, Canva makes it easy for you to switch the rest of it. So now it's asking, do you want to change all of the burnt orange to the burgundy? And I can hit change all. And so now on all the pages, the words that were burnt orange will be burgundy. Let's say I wanted to change this to burgundy as well. I just click that and then I say burgundy and then I hit change all. And now all of the little squares or rectangles, and circles are gonna change to that burgundy. Another thing too is when it comes to the fonts, you click the font, you click up here to edit it where it has the font name. You scroll down to where your brand kit is, and you'll see your fonts that you have here. You'll also see which ones you uploaded and you can change them there as well. Another cool thing that you can do is you can click the overall book, and then you can click the overall book and then you can hit apply a certain style. So I would click here where it says brand. So a couple of different places your brand kit is at. The first is whenever you're changing the font text, or if you're changing the font color or anything, or a shape color, you click the actual element and then you click it up here and then you change the color by using your brand kit there. Another way is going to where it says brand in this left-hand corner. It'll open up your color palette and you can click shuffle. And what it'll do is shuffle through all of your brand colors to create different combinations without you having to go through and change this one by one. And so you can do that, and then you literally can hit apply to all pages once you have something that you like, and it'll apply that style to all pages. So it's pretty much, it just changed it from, what was it originally? Let's go back. It just changed it from this blush looking color. Oh, I should have kept it up. I don't remember which one it was. But it just changed it from the blush looking color to this. So now you see it has my cream, it has my money green, burgundy and mauve, my pink from HBU. And now all I need to do is add my logo. So what I do is I click brand again. I go to where all my logos are uploaded. And so for your logo, a couple of things. You want to have a main logo, a secondary logo, and a submark and or symbol. The reason why is because in different scenarios, your logo may not fit. So if you only have one logo, you're going to end up squeezing it in spaces where it doesn't fit or stretching it in phases where it doesn't fit. When you think about your biggest brands that you know of, they either have a symbol that you memorize or they have versions of their logo that go on different things. If you start paying attention now that you know that, you'll see it. So for this, I may want to put my HBU logo that looks like this at the top, right? And that looks good there. Another thing is the color palette. So let's go back here and let's talk about color palettes really quick. So my color palette has an array of colors. This is the extended version of my color palette. This is more advanced. So I'm going to break it down to be a little bit more basic, right? So if I go to, let's pull up an example style guide so I can visualize what I'm talking about. So your brand needs to have a style guide and a brand guidelines. I talk about this in a video, which I'll link on the screen right here. I talk about the importance of these, what they are, and how to create your own. So watch that video. It's super helpful, super dope. But your style sheet is kind of like a cheat sheet that you can give anybody to design anything, and that you use to design stuff. So that way you are keeping your consistency with your colors, your fonts, your vibe, all of that. Your brand guidelines is like a multi-page document that goes more into your brand personality, use cases for your logo and stuff like that. So let's say this was your brand guide right here, your style guide, right? So what you want to do is you want to have 5 colors, right? 5 main colors in your palette. You have 2 dominant colors, 2 neutrals, and an accent color. So what the mistake I see people make is that as new entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that know nothing about visual branding is you will put a whole bunch of dominant colors in your palette, right? And so if you pay attention to this palette, you have neutrals that are neutralizing the vibe. And then you have an accent color, which is this green. And the neutral colors are easily these two, or even this taupe and this blue. And then you have your dominant colors, which could be, it's definitely the pink, and then it's either one of these two. And so the way that you use colors is you typically use your dominant and a neutral, or your dominant, neutral, and accent, or both neutrals and a dominant. Like, that's how you combine it. You rarely ever want to use both of your dominants all of the time together. I hope that makes sense. It's a lot to unpack, which is why there's an entire section all about visual design inside of my newest creation, the Brand Accelerator. I've been working super hard on this course, and I made it jam-packed, but also super easy to digest, so that way you can elevate your brand, see results, see extreme growth in areas of customer loyalty, revenue, like your social media growth, all of that within 30 days. That's what the Brand Accelerator is about. Now, at the time that you're watching this, the Brand Accelerator may not be out. We may have a wait list right now for it. So if we do, I will put it below. If it's open, I'll also put that link below. And if you don't see a link, just ask, okay? And I'll make sure to get it to you. So that is what this is. You want to make sure that you have a color palette down pat, and you have your logos that are primary, secondary, submarks, and all of that. Now, last but not least, when it comes to designing your ebooks, let's say that you got a template from Etsy or Creative Market. This is a template from Etsy, for example. You need to remember that almost every digital ebook, workbook, or guide has 5 main components. These components are your cover, which you also can find a template for your cover specifically if you want something different than the one that came with the template. And the way that you do that is go to Etsy and look up ebook cover. So literally type in ebook cover and you'll see some different ones come up, and you can customize them on Etsy. The same way that you would customize your book, you want to customize them with your images, your brand's colors, and the fonts on covers are like, you can change them, you can keep them if it matches the vibe. But your cover, you then want to have a table of contents. That's the second component. So 5 components. The first is your cover. The second is table of contents. This lets people know what's to come and also how to find things. Even though you're selling a digital product, people love to print it out. I realize this. And so when things are printed out, it's easy to lose track of pages, and that's what table of contents help you do. You then want to make sure that you have a text-only page designed. So in this template, I think this is focused more on like a workbook, but I'll show you one of my actual ebooks. So you want to have like a text-only page designed, right? This is for whenever you have long form text that needs to just get out. All of your pages should not be like this. You need to have a good balance of text-only pages with image-only pages. So like this is almost an image-only page. It's an image of me and a quote. It's almost an image-only page. Like, it's called image heavy, right? And so you see there's a balance between these where it's like, okay, we got the table of contents, we got the chapter, we got the image heavy, we have the text only, and then I have fillable pages as well. So because this is a workbook combined with an ebook, fillable pages is important. So we have fillable pages where they can print it out and they can write. My audience can also type into this if they wanted to, or they can write on their iPads. So you want to think use cases for both being printed as well as digital, and make sure that it's enough space. So these boxes on an iPad, when you zoom in, it's more than enough space. So you want to make sure that you have a good blend of these. If your book is not a workbook and it's more of just an ebook, you don't necessarily need fillable spaces, but I recommend having a space that they can at least write who the book belongs to. But if it's a guide or a workbook or even a checklist, having spaces that they can check boxes or write inside of them are going to be super important, because that helps it be interactive, which means that they'll gain more from your digital product, which means they'll come back and they'll buy more from you, right? And that, obviously, you want that customer loyalty and you want those sales. So you'll see a good balance. You have different pages where I'm teaching. Then, I have an activity here, a fillable page, your chapter page, an image heavy page. Once again, a text heavy page, text with some images, another activity. and you need to create a rhythm. The biggest mistake too that I see people make with digital products is that you make it one-dimensional. So every page looks like blah. It's so flat and it does not have any personality. We get so many good reviews about our ebooks, workbooks, and all of that over at HBU because we put a lot of thought behind how it looks, because that helps with the experience, which is also one of the components to a six-figure brand strategy. And so if you want to learn all about the components and how to put together a six-figure brand strategy, you need to get my six-figure brand masterclass. I put so much into that masterclass. It's literally 2 hours, and I'm breaking down all of the steps to create your brand strategy, the same steps I use to create my multi-six-figure brand. I make multi-six figures every year, and I've also developed other brands that were 6 figures as well and help clients do the same. I put it in that masterclass. So definitely grab that masterclass. I make sure to link it below. I recently recorded that masterclass and it is juicy, y'all. So if you don't see that link below, just comment and say, hey, where's the six-figure brand masterclass link? And I will get it to you. But that is fire, okay? So that's that. That's how you design and create your digital product. Now, if you want to set this up on Shopify and use the power of upsells to boost your sales from day one, remember to check out ReConvert, who is the sponsor of today's video. I have a full video on ReConvert and how to set it up on your Shopify store, and I'll link that on the screen as well as below so that way you can check it out. Trust me, like when I started using upsells and cross sells, I was able to make $1,000 more with doing absolutely nothing different than what I was already doing. So install the app. It's worth it. Trust me. And I'll link that video for you. I hope that this video was super helpful, and I'll see you in the next one, Hustle Babe. Bye.